the primary reason that the law firms initially stopped hiring was due to precaution, right? I mean, they all took precautionary measures of 80% pay, 4-day working weeks, primarily for a lot of the international firms, less so for the top US firms, but more so for the international firms. We also saw bonuses being frozen, partner payouts being frozen as well. During that time, there was still some hiring, some in litigation, some in restructuring and insolvency, but the estimation from companies that we got to do some research for us was that the legal recruitment market shrunk around 80% in the first 6 months year on year. So, I mean, that was obviously tough for a lot of law firms, but when you speak to them, and when, as I say, it was a precaution, because when you actually look at the numbers, according to the managing partners we've spoken to, most only saw perhaps a 5% dip in revenue, and some of them didn't see a dip and actually have had very good years. I mean, primarily if they're heavily focused towards litigation, we've spoken to a number of litigation firms or litigation teams that make up a large percentage of their firm's revenue, that actually have had the best year ever and have beaten their target already, or actually beat their target a few months ago. So there have been highs and there have been lows. Now a lot of the firms are now paying 100% again. There still are a number that have said to the end of the year they're going to stick to the 80%, but the number of now back to full pay. And we have heard, as you've probably seen, the US firms have announced they're going to make special COVID bonuses. One of the Magic Circle firms will do the same for their US associates. We'll also see a number of the firms are discussing, and maybe haven't yet formally announced, but are discussing larger bonuses this year to their associates to make up for the money they lost having 20% pay cuts. We're also seeing partner bonuses now. Some are, I mean, if they're paid on a quarterly basis with profit-related pay, they're actually being backdated. So if they were put on hold, they haven't necessarily lost that money. Some of them have been being paid and it's being backdated. So they haven't, again, it was put in as a precaution. The actual numbers have not dropped as much as people feared. So it hasn't been as bad, and so that money has remained in the pool and is now being distributed.